Good evening and welcome to a Ben Jacobson Photo New School Photography Think Tank Photo Review. Tonight I am reviewing the Retro 5, and you might wonder why I have a Retro 10 here to start. And it's very simple. A lot of people are asking how it compares in size. So the best demonstration I thought of really quick was to put the 5 inside the 10 to show you a size comparison. So it is a little bit of a snug fit, but you'll obviously never do that. So here's the 5 next to a 10. And yes, it does pretty much fit inside of it, so it's significantly smaller. If you run the dimensions through a calculator, it's actually real close to half the size in terms of total volume. So it is a nice small bag. So let me put my 10 down and get into what the 5 has to offer. So you can see here, this is a Retro 5. It's pin stone. I believe that's how you say it. It might be pine stone, so I'll cover my bases. But it's basically the same bag as the Retro 10. So all my likes of the Retro 10 apply to this. All my dislikes of the Retro 10 apply to this. So it's pretty much not much new in terms of what they've done with the bag. They've just shrunken it down a little bit to make a very nice small bag for a DSLR ungripped and 2 lenses, or maybe a Micro Four Thirds or Evil kit. So let me just show you what I have in here now and what else fits. So if you open it up, I actually have my film body in here because it's the same size as the 5D Mark II I'm taping this with a 24L Mark II. Here you can see a 70-300 Tamron, the new VC version. I keep Lee foundation rings on my landscaping lenses and neoprene hoods, so you can see it's actually a little bit longer than it would be normally. With a ruler, this is 7¼ inches long, which is very close to a 70-200 f4 in size. I also put Canon caps on mine, which may or may not make a difference, but as you can see, watch as this goes in the bag. It comes right up to the top and is actually a tad taller than the top of the bag, but fits, and a camera with a lens goes in the other side with no problem. So you'll have to measure your 70-200 f4s for those of you who are interested in that. It definitely won't fit on the body, but it probably will fit here alongside a camera, no problem. When you look in the bag, this is basically the default insert position. I really haven't changed much. I think I might have slid one of those in to make the center a little narrower. But I have, as I said, 70-300. Camera with a lens goes on the other side. My 17-40 that I'm also taping this with fits on this side, no problem, on the body of the camera. I then have, right now, some batteries, memory card wallet, my timer remote. As with the 10, there's a accessory pocket here that has plenty of room for pens, batteries. You could fit round filters in there. It's the same storage compartment. You also have a key clip, and this was one of my dislikes on the 10, and they've kept it the same for the 5, is it's a metal key clip. Plastic would probably scratch the back of your camera just as bad as metal would, but my only concern is that if this isn't tucked in the little slot here, it could scratch the back of your camera. I've had my Retro 10 for a year now, and it has not been a problem. It just potentially could be. Looking at the rest of the bag, there's the same Velcro silencers are on the flap. These are smaller than the silencers in the 10, and so is the total amount of Velcro that's available to be used, but I really don't see a problem with that. I think it's adequately sized for the bag. You get the same business card holder that you do on all Think Tank bags, which is very nice. It lets you put your card in there so people can figure out who you are if you lose your bag and they're kind enough to return it, and also just to hold business cards. You get a nice front pocket to store whatever you'd like in there. I know on the 10, an iPad fits perfectly here. I actually have my iPad in my 10 right here to show you, just so that you can rule it out, basically. That's my filter holder. An iPad will really only go in this bag that way, which is not really an adequate solution in my opinion. I just figured I'd show it to make sure you guys saw a size reference. That's in a sleeve as well. And the back, there's a compartment on the back that's about the same size. It'll fit in vertically, and I think I actually had to take it out of my case to get it in there. But this bag's not designed for that. It's a known object size I wanted to use as a reference. So just to show you a few more layouts really quick. If you wanted to use some Micro Four Thirds cameras, I have my Nex, which is obviously just an Evil, but you can toss it in. Here's an Olympus 50mm 1.4, and then I actually have my OM1 here, as that's a similar size to Olympus's EPL line. And if you load them in, there's plenty of room. So if you're using Micro Four Thirds or Evil cameras, this bag will work. It's the smallest in the line, but you're still going to have a little bit of extra room. This would fit like probably 4 lenses and a Micro Four Thirds body as well. So it'd be a nice setup with plenty of room for that. For when I landscape, the way I plan on using the bag, if I unload it really quick, is I use my Adorama filter holder. And these bags, just like the 10, it has these side straps, which works with all of Think Tank's modular components, and I use this as my filter holder. But you can put one on either end, so it really is expandable. You can fit a lot of stuff in the bag, even if it's not in the bag. You can add small bags to expand it as needed, which is a very nice feature. So when I landscape, I would have that on the end. I would then have my 70 to 300 here. I would put the camera, I'll just use this as a demonstration here, and then I would just have compact flash cards and a battery tossed in here with the remote, which makes it a very nicely sized small bag for that. And then, like, if you wanted to set it up with maybe, say, a flash, your memory cards, your batteries, and a couple portrait lenses. This is a Sigma 85 1.4. It'll fit on one side, and then the camera will fit on the other side. With this is a 24L on this is an A2, but it's the same size as a 5D. It fits in here like this. You can tell with the flash in here, it actually makes it a little taller because this hits right there. The solution to that would be if you flip-flop what's in these compartments really quick. I'll do it. The camera will then sit on the back of the 85 and sit lower in the bag. So there you can see it's a nice small package that way. So it's very small, which is the point. I think it's a very nicely sized bag, honestly. It reminds me of my old Tamrac Adventure 4, which I liked the size of a lot. It comes with a rain hood, the brochure, paperwork, whatever you want to call it, and a few extra dividers. It looks like there are 4 dividers in here for setting it up. But honestly, the way they configure it as it comes, you get one tall divider here. You get one here that is the same height, but it has a flap that folds over, allowing you to make it shorter, or lay it as kind of a little shelf in there. It's got the 2 little side pockets, which are a little less useful in a bag this size. On the bigger bag, they're perfect for flashes. But that's about it. And I do know you're going to want to see a shot with it on me. So let me just put some things in it and toss it on my shoulder real quick. So we'll toss the 85 in there. We'll put in some memory cards. We'll put in a camera. And just close it up. It's got a nice handle here. And then you can just see that's as long as the strap gets. I'm probably out of frame at this point. But I'm 6'4". Let me go behind my bench here. I'm 6'4", not a small guy, and you can tell on my shoulder it's down, my belt's right above the edge of the bag. So it does have a long enough strap. If you wear it messenger style over your shoulder, it's right about at the top of my belt now. So it's a long enough strap. My original complaint with the Retro 10 was that the strap was a little firm, and it still is a little firm. The interesting thing is, being the different color, this strap feels a lot more like it's canvas or cotton. It's a lot softer. It's as soft. I'm reaching down for my Retro here. This is as soft now as my Retro is after a year. Might even be softer. So in the pinstone color, that problem isn't a problem. So that's nice. And you get a nice sliding strap pad. As you can see, when I put it on, the strap was twisted up. So they don't put swivels on the end, which would have been a nice touch, but that's a minor criticism. Overall, it's a great bag. I know I just got it today, and I normally don't do my reviews till I've used something for quite a while. The only reason I'm putting this one out there so fast is I know people are concerned with what actually fits in the bag and what size it is, and I feel confident it's going to hold up as well as my Retro 10, which I've had for over a year now. So all my comments on that basically apply to this, and it's just a different size and color. So I hope this review helps. Ben Jacobson for Ben Jacobson Photo and NewSchoolPhotography.com. Have a good night.